Welcome to the Worship Probs podcast, where we aim to entertain, encourage, and equip worship and tech leaders all around the world. Look, we all know that serving in worship and production is great, but the problems, those are real. Thanks for joining us as we dive into today's episode with our host, Brian Tabor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 341 of the Worship Probs podcast. We're so glad you're here, and boy, do I have a treat for you today. Okay, entertain, encourage, and equip. Those are our 3 E's. That's why we're here. You're going to experience all of those today, I can promise you. If you do us a favor, head over to Apple Podcasts and find the Worship Probs podcast. Even if you listen on Pod Doc or what, there's a million Bean, Pod Sprouts.
Maybe
Pod
chat plays
Coffee.
it for you
Yeah,
these days.
whatever it is.
Pod Chat.
Well, no matter where you listen, jump over to Apple Podcasts. That's kind of the straw that stirs the drink. And find our podcast. Leave us 5 stars and a really nice review. We would be really grateful for that. It's a huge help for us. Now, I'm mobile today. I know you can't see me, but you have to trust me. I'm mobile today. I'm in the words of Nelly, I'm in Chicago. I'm in Chicago.
The great city of Chicago.
And I've got with me the one and only Brian Nelson, a.k.a. Nelly.
That's what you call me. I love
And
it.
I've got the Ninja, the Razor. She goes by many names.
Give me
The
any
machine.
name.
Ally Bachanos.
Game on.
She's
Let's
here.
go.
Game on.
It's good.
Thank
to
you
be
guys for
with you,
being
brother.
here.
This is so
Glad you're
fun.
here,
Honored to
brother.
be here. This
Yeah.
is so cool. And I'm excited to hang out, go through, we're going to go through prayer concerns. Oh, yeah. And so, that's pumping me up alone. I cannot wait to hear all 5 of those, the bottom of the pudding cup. We're going to share cool resources with everybody listening along the way. We're going to catch up a bit. And we're going to talk about how we all met at the Experience Conference, one of my favorite places on earth, happening every September down there in Orlando. And so hang on. If you're listening, hang on tight. Listen through the whole thing. Stick with us. Put it on 2 times, 1.5, whatever you got to do. Stick with us. It's going to be a great podcast.
We're going to have a blast today. And speaking of a blast, let me tell you about the greatest people that ever lived, Planning Center. This episode of the Worship Probs podcast is brought to you by Planning Center, an all-in-one software that can help you organize every facet of your ministry, connect with your people, and help your people stay connected to each other. Among the many ways Planning Center can help you do that is through task management. In Planning Center, you can create detailed tasks, organize to-do lists, and even collaborate on those tasks with other team members in real time. Do you have recurring events and projects with long to-do lists? Make a task list template to save time. Have regular tasks you need help keeping up with? Set your tasks to automatically repeat at an interval of your choosing. And the best part is that you can create tasks from absolutely anywhere in Planning Center using the toolbar. You'll find your Tasks tab in Planning Center Home, the place you see all the important updates happening across your account. To learn more and get started today, visit planningcenter.com or click the link in our bio. Okay, so we're here in Chicago. You've lived here most of your life, Brian.
Yeah, I grew up here, just a couple towns over.
Ally's lived here for 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Okay, let's start with you, Ally. What's your favorite thing about Chicago?
Oh. Okay, so I'm from Phoenix, where there's never any weather, never anything but the sun, no grass, just rocks.
Yeah.
So I think my favorite thing so far is the seasons. That's
Nice.
been fun.
Nice.
Of course, I love the people here. Of course, I love the food here.
Yeah.
But the seasons are new and still super fun. So winter's tough. It's super cold, but it's actually cool to have snow.
Yeah.
Then it makes spring that much better. Summer's awesome. So I think that's been fun to
That's awesome.
actually have seasons. It's kind
the
of cool.
The seasons. What about you?
Yeah, it's a good place. I was gone for about 13 years, college to about age 30, came back. And so coming back, the food, unbelievable. Of course, our deep dish pizza, so famous. The summers in Chicago are amazing. Just amazing. Going to the lakefront or going to a ball game, great sports town. We're mostly losers here. I mean, the Cubs are having a good year, but otherwise, they're the only winning team in Chicago in the last few years, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
But it's been a fun place to be. Loved raising my family here, my boys, and my wife's here. And it is an awesome place.
That's awesome.
awesome
That's
place.
awesome. Well, we always love coming, and we're really excited to be here at the Bridge Community Church, where both of you guys are on staff. So thanks.
right.
Shout out to the Bridge for hosting us. Thank you, Nellie and Ally, and just the whole team from the Bridge for all that they've done to make our first pop-up event.
Yeah, we're honored to have you.
Possible. We love it. If you're interested in hosting a pop-up probs event at your church or in your city, send us an email, info@worshipleaderprobs.com, and let's talk about it, because I think this is going to be happening
think it'd be
more and
really
more.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as the years and months ahead, it could be really cool to have these all over the country.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And also make sure you subscribe to Worship Probs e-news, something new we're rolling out here in 2025. You can find a link in our bio for that.
Hey, you know what time it is?
What time is it?
I think it's time for prayer concerns.
Let's get it. Okay, if you just found us, prayer concerns. So your church probably has some kind of response device. Maybe it's a little card in the seat back, or it's your live stream chat or YouTube or Facebook Live, whatever it is. Oftentimes the host or on the card, it'll say, "How can we pray for you?" Sometimes people use that for real prayer requests, like I'm going in for surgery, I'm not feeling well, whatever. Oftentimes, they will use that section to tell you what they thought of your service. And sometimes they didn't think that much of it.
They didn't.
They were not down
So
with.
instead of like, my husband passed away or my child's lost, let's make a comment on the third song,
Yeah,
chorus
exactly.
2.
Or the
Exactly.
outfit you're wearing. They always got to
Yeah,
bash on the
because that-
outfit.
Oh, yeah.
That really matters.
Jeans with holes.
Probably.
Oh, yeah. All of it.
Fun to pray through these as a staff.
All of it.
Every
Yes.
week.
All of it.
Yes.
So if you're listening and you've been in ministry for 5 minutes, I know you have at least one prayer concern. Send it to us. You can DM those to us on any of the socials, or hit the link in our bio. Just look for the prayer concerns choice, or jump over to the website. It's newly renovated by the one and only Ally Bachanos. It's killer. It's so sharp. I'm very, very proud of it, and thank you again for doing it. And click on prayer concerns up in the menu item, and you can submit yours there. You'll always be anonymous. Your church will always be anonymous. We'll never share that. But we do share these on the podcast every week, and our hope is just to give you a chance to take a breath, laugh a little bit. Life is so serious. We need a laugh, and so hopefully
Have
that
some
laughter,
fun.
yeah, man.
Have some
hopefully
fun
that
with these
just
terrible
remains-
people's comments.
Hopefully that reminds you that you are.
You're not alone.
You're not alone.
There's complainers everywhere. And you just got to keep them quiet or kick them out. All right, here we go.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Prayer
Oh,
concern
man.
number 1.
This is so exciting. Let's do it.
One time I had a person at church tell me that he liked when I play drums because I'm quiet enough that he can't hear it.
Oh.
Man.
Whoa.
Hey, we're both drummers sitting here. That's very
You play
offensive.
very loud.
What would happen
I'm
at our
getting
church
louder.
if you played too quiet?
You would yell at me.
That's right.
100%.
Yeah. Put the
yeah.
pencils down and pick up some sticks. That's what I say. That's what I say.
That's phenomenal.
Allie, go. Allie,
That's
go.
phenomenal.
Man, I want to know who that was after the recording. No, just kidding.
Okay, number 2, prayer concern number 2. We got this comment on our live stream, and it said, "I'm listening on my 10-year-old phone, and the music sounds awful. You guys need to fix that."
Oh.
My 10-year-old phone. I wonder if it was a flip phone.
Well,
BlackBerry.
any phone.
One speaker.
You can't listen to music on a phone. You got to have some AirPods
it's
in.
bad. Yeah, it's
well,
bad.
she does probably know, or he doesn't know what those are.
might
And
not.
if it's
Yeah.
10 years old, that's
Yeah.
that's a lot of stuff fighting
That's
against you.
pretty. Yeah, they can fix that. Just turn your phone off. There it is. It's fixed.
There you go. Okay, number 3, prayer concern number 3. I got a comment from a man in our church, and he said, "Thank you for singing the Rugged Cross song this morning. It was awesome." I said, "Thanks. It seemed to fit well with this week's service. I'm glad it was meaningful to you." And he replied, "So many of us older people really like some of the older hymns mixed in. It comes up in our group a lot. Thanks for all you do." The song we sang, "Oh, Praise the Name" by Hillsong, 2015.
Oh.
Not an old hymn. Not an old hymn at all.
Not
Yeah.
at all. But there's something about the cross in there, right?
I cast my mind on Calvary, where Jesus
does
bled
kinda
and
sound
died for me.
hymny.
It's very
Yeah.
hymnish.
Well, even the guy, if
Nice
that
slow
was,
tempo.
hymn
Yep.
adjacent.
Yeah.
and if he was accurate with what he wrote into you, the guy says the title wrong. When he says the title, it's the old rugged cross, right? And
Oh,
he
that's
comes
right,
up-
yeah.
He doesn't even say it right, so I
He
knew
says
he didn't
the
know what he was
rugged
talking about. Oh my
Fire back on him.
goodness.
Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. Okay, number 4.
He
prayer
probably has a 10-year-old phone. You know, the guy.
That's the
same
same
guy. This is the same
like
guy.
if he has to type the 5 so many times to make that letter, and
Yes.
that was the early texting. If you don't know what that means. Okay, number 4. Prayer concern number 4. We had a woman stand up. I'm sorry. A woman stood up.
This really gets you.
She stood up on the back pew to yell up to the media team that were working in the booth. I frantically made my way back to find out what was going on and to ask her to please sit down. Turns out she was asking for the Wi-Fi password.
Oh,
Stood on the chair, pew, whatever.
But what are we
yelled
doing?
at the media team. Yeah.
What are we doing?
she's trying to get on TikTok during the service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's bored. It's time to get
She's
on.
gotta
It
doom
is amazing
scroll.
how many people yell at your production team.
Oh gosh, yes.
They regularly tell me about people visiting the booth and giving their 2 cents. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
How many people do that?
That's funny.
While he pulls up 5, I was going to say, Ally, with the drum one, we had an older gentleman when I first moved here. We were in the hallway. He looks at me. He goes, "I could feel the bass in my chest this morning," and he was upset about it. I just looked at him. I go, "Yeah, isn't that awesome?"
I love that.
And I walked away.
I love that.
And he's
Clapping
still
back.
here. He loves the church.
Let's
Clapping
go.
back.
But yeah,
clapping back.
That's all. Yeah, it's fantastic,
This
isn't
is
it? I'm like, it doesn't
amazing.
hurt your ears, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
You can feel a little
Yeah,
something.
it's great. I used to feel the organ here as a kid a lot.
Yeah.
So don't tell me you can't feel drums. It's bass. It's the same
Exactly.
thing.
Same deal. Okay, here's the
Oh, that's
last
it.
one, the bottom of the pudding cup.
Yes.
Prayer concern number 5.
Pudding cup.
Before service this past Sunday, we had our pre-service music going as normal. I had an older lady pull me aside demanding I change the music to worship music because, quote, "this screamo music you're playing is awful." What was I playing? The Experience Conference playlist on Spotify.
Yes.
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 What kind of terrible things are on there, Allie? What do we
And when you
Come
think
to Experience
when you think
Conference.
screamo, you think Experience Conference.
Easily. Easily.
Yeah.
You got to come this year and find out.
Yeah, like
Yes,
a
you gotta
First
come.
Baptist
Oh, my Lord.
Fayetteville or something, right? Just screaming
Heck
and
yeah.
recording it. And
Oh,
love
my
those
Lord.
guys there,
That's
actually.
awesome.
Oh, my Lord.
Bottom of the pudding cup.
Bottom
Well
of the
done,
pudding
Brian.
cup. Bottom of the pudding cup. So, guys, those are prayer concerns. Send yours in to us. You'll always be anonymous, as will your church. Go to the website, worshipleaderprobs.com. Click on the prayer concerns tab and submit yours there. DM them to us on any of the socials or email info@worshipleaderprobs.com. Well, we're going to have a really good conversation today that I am excited about. So let's dive into that. Since 1988, New Life Ministries has offered compassionate and empowering solutions to those who find themselves in life's difficult places and who are missing what God desires for their lives. Family, friends, and churches want to help, but aren't always equipped to care for those dealing with problems like addiction, pornography, infidelity, anxiety, anger, fear, depression, and hurts from the past. Do you ever find yourself feeling anxious, fearful, angry, or even depressed in your everyday life or ministry? Or as a leader in your ministry, do you want to be better equipped to walk with those around you who are struggling? We're partnering with New Life Ministries to provide resources, help, and support for you in any season you face so you are best equipped to serve and lead your ministry. Look for more info to come and click the link in our bio to discover more ways that New Life Ministries can help. So, the three of us, we met each other back, what year would we have?
Well, Experience Conference starts in 2011, right? This is our
And I
15th
didn't come
year.
for a while. Yeah, I didn't make it down for a while. I think maybe
2015, I think we figured out.
Yeah,
was your
maybe
first
15
one.
was my first. Were you there, Ally, in 15?
Not in 15.
When did you?
I think 17 was my
17.
first year.
Okay. So we all met through the Experience Conference, which has become a really special
Family.
place.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
family. It's a special, meaningful place. If you've ever been, you kind of know. Long Year always says it's like the biggest week of church camp
Yeah.
You can
It's adult
for
church camp at Disney World.
Right?
The
Come
best.
on. I mean,
In a beautiful hotel, great food.
so you've been involved for.
Well, so I'm one of the only people who have
You've
been
been
to
to every-
all 15.
Oh my gosh.
Holy cow.
This will be the 15th
Yeah.
this year. So the first 2 years I just attended and then, just put my name in if you want to help, and they called me up a couple months later, got on the ministry team, the committee back then, the steering committee. And that's also what I know you got on. And then just kept going every year and eventually produced a couple years of the conference and then became the host. And I've been the host for since 2018. So this will be my 8th year.
Wow.
hosting.
Wow. Incredible.
Yeah.
And you came in 17, Ally.
Yeah, I came as an attendee first with my church. It was with Heath Bottomley, who was my boss back in Phoenix, and he's our conference director now. So I went as an attendee just with his church team. Showed up, he handed me a camera and just said, go take some pictures for the week. And I'm like, I don't do photography. He's like, you've got 4 days to figure it out, so go for it. So I did some photos. Then he eventually gave me social media, moved me up to marketing director position. So now I get to serve as the marketing director, which is a ton of fun. But first couple years as an attendee, now just running around like crazy with the camera.
But Al, you got most famous for playing the box drum. You sat in a little worship event we had and played the box drum, and it was
So
like
fun.
the girl drummer was rocking out, and that was when she became everybody's hero. I really think it was that moment.
That was your hero.
It was a lot of fun.
Razor, what else you call her? Just
The razor that
Ninja.
will cut you with excellence. The ninja. We call her all kinds of stuff. So what you attended and then you jumped. Like, what made you want to get involved?
A tremendous impact it was having on me, what I was bringing home. I started bringing team members with me. And for a lot of guys like me in local church ministry, you have a desire to, if I could help more people, that can go sideways with sin involved, right? But there is a good part to wanting to help more people. There's a godly part of that. And so I thought, man, if I could get involved in something like this and even help and be able to come back, and this is what, my church allows me the time off and they pay for my flight down, all the things, because I get to come back and tell stories of 1,500 worship leaders and team members who are going home to their churches changed and with great ideas, but also heart change. And so our church, The Bridge, loves that I'm involved because The Bridge now is making a bigger impact than just us.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you do an awesome job. And Ally, you do an awesome job too. So how did you get from him just handing you a camera to saying, yeah, this is really something I'd like to be a part of?
Yeah, teeing off of what Brian already said of like seeing the life change and the impact, like being the person behind the camera, getting to capture those moments and be part of, like, the stories are obviously being told in the room and they might never get outside of whatever that conversation is. But being able to like have the camera, have social media, be able to capture those moments and share them helps spread the word and get that impact out farther and more people to hear about it and more people to come and be impacted themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, the exact same.
What's it like looking through a lens? You have such a different view than all of us have of a conference even, right? They always say that when you put a camera up. So what do you see through that maybe we even miss on the individuals' faces and things like that?
Oh, that's a good question. People obviously, 2 reactions. You see a camera come around. If you're camera shy, you kind of hide away from it. If you're not, it amplifies whatever that emotion you're feeling is. So we get to capture some of the most fun moments of teams that are like, you already know they're having fun in the lobby, but then they see a camera come and they get the whole team and do a silly pose or whatever. But then you have people that like genuinely, we get to run up and ask them tiny mic type questions, ask them what's impacting them. And you get to hear some real stuff that like they might share around their team's dinner table in the evening. And the leader of the table will ask, what are you guys learning? But then we get to like capture that in a couple minutes too.
Yeah.
But the rest of the conference doesn't always get to hear that. Your team does. But we're getting to capture moments that then the whole conference can hear or the whole nation can hear on social media promo and then decide they want to come be part of this community.
Yeah.
Because the conference is so big. I don't know if this is why you wanted to get involved. It's just so big. It covers so many things because it runs from a Tuesday night to a Friday morning. So it covers a lot.
Yeah.
And so you get the full gamut of all the different answers. Heart, practical, unity that was created that they didn't have before. A lot of people at my church ask, why do you guys go every year? Do you really learning that much? And I said, we learn every year.
Yeah.
But what it does for our team, I believe, gets us through the next year.
Yep.
And
if you have a chance to come with people you serve with,
Yes.
there's something so special that happens when you go to when you have any kind of an experience together. And this one is just such an intense deep dive from the main sessions to the workshops there's something really special that you can bring back to your church.
Yeah. Why did you jump in from fan to follower, if you will?
I think I came twice before I like you did, before I, sent a note or whatever and said, hey, I'd like to help. I had just a sense of the impact. I thought, and it's such a cool setting. I mean, back when I got involved, it was at the Contemporary. Yeah, it was at the Contemporary.
Oh, man.
And which was really cool.
Monorail through the hotel
right.
while we
So
eat.
cool.
Right. Well, and when we called to make our reservations, I remember the lady on the phone going, now you can stay at the Contemporary or the Grand Floridian for the same price. And my wife was in the kitchen and her head spun around so fast. So
You like that Grand Floridian?
we always stayed at the Grand.
Kim's over here to the
Nice.
side. She
Right?
likes that Grand Floridian.
It's like you're living somebody else's life for a couple days,
Oh, yeah.
and if you walk a little taller when you're walking through there.
You do, but like ministry is really hard.
It is.
And I'm not talking about
Yep.
the stuff we overemphasize. Like, don't take it too far. But it's hard. People's lives are in our heads all the time. People that are struggling, we're carrying a lot of weight. So to go somewhere and just have fun
Yes.
is worth money.
Yeah.
And a lot of churches don't understand that. That's worth money to just go have fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, okay, so this year's lineup
Is overwhelming. And they just
absolutely
Ally
unreal.
keeps sending out updates.
Surprise, surprise.
And how is Heath and how are they getting
I
all
don't
these
know.
people? I just
It's
keep
awesome.
telling her, how are we getting all these people?
You want me to rattle these off for you guys? Are you ready?
tell us who's coming.
Okay, we've got Brian and Jen Johnson, Charity Gale, Levi Lusto.
Levi.
She's,
And
all of them.
Levi's the man. I
Yes.
couldn't believe it.
Derwin Gray, Ian Simpkins,
Great dude.
John Reddick, Mac Brock, Josh Baldwin.
Okay, Josh Baldwin. We've been saying like our favorite. But I tell you, Mac
man.
Brock
Yeah.
opened 2 years ago the whole conference
Yep.
and was just in
Really
the back
good dude.
room
Yep.
weeping
Yep.
over the hurt that was coming in the room. Yeah. Super intense.
Yeah.
And wonderful guy.
Yeah.
Keep going. We're in the first row.
First row, David Leonard, Katie Nicole, Matt Marr, Scott
Matt's such a
Longyear
good-
is
Longyear
back.
is
Scott Longyear.
back.
Scott Longyear.
Let's go.
Great friend
Make
of all
this
of ours.
a YouTube short. It will blow up.
Scott
Longyear's
Longyear.
back.
Meredith
Oh,
Andrews.
the best.
We love her.
What a great.
Yeah.
She's just.
John Michael Hinton.
He's back. John
Yeah.
Michael is a big part of the conference in your early days. He's the illusionist, magician.
Yep.
Really, really good.
He's
But,
awesome.
Funny story,
amazing.
back when I was anonymous in running this account for the first several years, he was very engaged on the account. And as I was leaving Experience Conference, I walked up to his booth and I told him I was the person running this, and he lost his mind.
Yes.
It's such a good moment.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Because
he's
you're
a
very,
great dude,
you're
very talented.
you're very closely tied. I mean, some people probably think, is this is some Experience Conference promo, podcast?
Yeah.
No, we're very closely tied to it. Probs is very closely tied to it. Some of Brian's earliest jokes were made at the expense of our conference, and he became kind of famous for it. And it actually helped. I
Yeah.
think it really helped you at the beginning.
Yeah.
Propelled you because
Grateful.
people at the conference ate it up.
Yeah.
Even though you're making fun of the conference.
Yeah.
And once we found out you were already in our family, it was pretty fun.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
It was pretty fun to figure out, like, wait, Quiet Brian is that guy?
Right. It's wild.
It's fantastic.
Are we done?
Last one is
We're not-
Bodie, and you got to hang out with him, right?
Whisper in the Wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bodie, we did a karaoke with Bodie last summer, and then he was at the Experience one day last fall. Really, really great guy.
He's awesome.
Wild and off the wall.
Let's go.
But
Okay.
he goes.
I'm gonna like this guy.
He goes 100. Yeah, you will. You're going to be like
We're gonna
two
be
sticks
best
of
friends.
dynamite. Yeah, 2 sticks of dynamite.
That's going to be
Okay,
fantastic.
so incredible speakers, incredible artists. It's all good. But Experience Conference is really about more than that, right? So what can you talk about, like community relationships? I mean, we've used phrases like church camp for grown-ups and
Yeah.
What is the family?
Yeah.
By worship leaders, for worship leaders. What drew me in 2011 was it was a conference by worship leaders, for worship leaders. That drew me in, and it's still that. It still feels like we're just putting this on for each other.
Yeah.
There is a stage, but there's no stage when you're there. You'll
Correct.
feel that if you've never been. And people have said to me over the years, you have to use, I've said this phrase, you have to use artists to get people there.
Yeah.
There's a truth to that with finances and convincing your church it's worth money. But like, they're not artists to us when we're there. I think that's even putting them down in a way we shouldn't. Like, these are great, like Baldwin and Levi, and like, these are great guys who I'm so excited to be around and learn from them.
Ian Simpkins, who's been on the podcast a couple times, like the wisdom. I'll never forget his answer to the big room question the first time he came on, that we're image bearers. You're not oh man, how did he I don't remember how he phrased it. It was just jaw-dropping the way, and it was we've heard so much from people who listen to that. So I've never even met him in person, so I'm looking forward to him.
But that's what you can get at these conferences. Yeah. I can think back to, it's got to be one of the first ones, Glenn Packiam, saying that we carry, just like they carried, what am I thinking, in the Old Testament, to the tabernacle, the presence of God.
Yeah.
And we are, and so his viewpoint was, we are bringing the presence of God in a way into the room to be, here he is, he's here. And we were talking about this earlier today, right? That our job as worship leaders is to lead people, not to just sing songs. Like, we're just missing it. If we go up there and sing 3 songs, even if they're well planned, the songs will be fine. They could probably sing most of it without you. Lead them. And that was Glenn's whole thing, is like, bring this usher in the presence of God. Yeah. But my point is, it's at a conference 12 years ago. Yeah. So I still use that with our team.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Still use that. So I think this year, it's one of the best lineups we've ever had, and every year's great. But once they're there, it's a family. Once they're there, I was telling, we have a camp. Our church has a camp, and I was telling them about how we pray. When everyone arrives, everyone gets prayed for before they even head to their room or whatever. Kind of start. And one of the questions we ask you is, what do you want God to do this week? It really floors a lot of people. It floors them that we pray for them, and then they also don't know how to answer that question. Yeah. It shows how many of us don't even think about, what does God want to do in my life? We're not even thinking about it.
Right.
And so even that, the conference helps, like, that's how you should be walking around. Yeah. God, what do you want to do today? Yeah. And it's just a real special place, and it's worth the investment. I learned that early on in ministry. It's worth investing in training your team and getting away and having fun together. And
absolutely.
It's a huge culture piece.
I think a couple of things. One, we have the statement of, like, we really try to lower the stage, which you can just say, but then it's really cool to see it actually come to fruition. And so many of these artists, especially our repeat ones that have, like, really become great friends of the conference, they'll be back again this year. Like, you'll see a noticeable difference. They're not just getting on stage and leading a set and then going home. Like, you'll see some of these artists walking around the lobby, interacting with our attendees. They, like, want to be among the people, and really just pouring into people. Like, they're there to love our attendees, which is so special. Yeah. And then number 2 is, like, the community and, like, the friendships that come from it. I know us 3 are great friends because of the conference. We know that there's so many stories.
It's unbelievable.
People all across the country. Yeah. And, like, people that'll go on vacation and take a stop out of their family vacation to go meet up with an experienced friend. Just some awesome relationships that have come from this.
That's awesome, man. And on the artist and speaker lineup, shout out to the HMB Heath Michael Bottomley for just crushing it.
It really
this year.
is amazing.
Crushing
how
it.
people just keep getting added, and there's more coming.
There's more coming. So buckle up.
And the man behind the curtain, Al Denson.
Yeah,
the
guy.
He's incredible.
Experience Conference really is his dream.
It's his dream
for encouraging worship. He just wants to encourage worship leaders. Yep. And I don't think he's ever listened to an episode of the podcast. He probably won't listen to this one. But I remember him say, "Look, all I know is when you talk, worship leaders listen." Yeah. And I love that, And so for him,
very encouraging to you,
putting his resources where his mouth is, and making this happen year after year during COVID. Mm-hmm.
We've survived COVID, hurricanes.
I mean,
so many hurricanes.
Many hurricanes. Yeah. It's incredible. His personal investment is fantastic. His leadership.
It doesn't happen without Big Al.
No, it's been.
He's the best.
Yeah, to build a friendship with this guy that when I was younger, my sister was a couple years older than me.
Will you be the one?
Yeah, man. His poster was up in my house. Right? His poster was in my house. It was not in my room.
Gosh.
It was in my
A
sister's
little bit of a
room.
heartthrob back
But
in the day, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was up on her wall.
Heartbreaker.
He was up on
That's
U2
awesome.
was up there, and Al Denson was up there. Isn't that
That's
crazy?
incredible.
That's
And now he
That's
owns
incredible.
a worship, conference along with many other things.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a great guy. But I wanted to say one of the things that happens at the conference, as Ally referred to, all the love you get.
Yeah.
But it's such a good example. Just to flip it for a minute, I think so many in the worship world, especially, we can hide out in the green room, and we can, hey, we got our little 15-minute spot there, and then we're out. No, like this is what we do at Experience Conference is so that you can go home for the next 52 weeks and do it every Sunday.
Yeah.
Every Sunday, you should be there with the people in the lobby, loving them and pouring into them that same love you feel. So I feel like the Experience Conference is a great example of a great church.
Yeah.
Really caring, but thoughtful and intentional in the care. It doesn't just happen. I've known people that go to the conference who've gone a couple times and said, I don't know anybody. I said, that has to be on you. I mean, I don't know how you don't. You had to have not taken that bold step of sitting across from someone at lunch or going to a class, a workshop, and saying, "Hey, where are you from?" Because if you did that, you're in.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be friends with people from around the country, which is really fun.
Absolutely. Ally, what can you tell us about workshops? Like, I know Nelly's teaching, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They put him in the biggest room there is because he draws.
know.
He's a magnet for people. Is what he is.
It doesn't make any sense. No one knows who I am where I live, let alone in Florida.
And then they all
It's going
show
to be
up.
great. We're going to record a live episode of the podcast that week, which
Let's
we
go.
always love. I think I'm going to teach another workshop probably as well. What else do we have going on? Workshop. I mean, there's something for every
Something
discipline.
for everyone.
Music, production, song, conference songwriting.
Yeah, there's songwriting, there's worship choirs, there's next gen worship leadership, there's creativity production, a couple general slots, some workshops by our sponsors, so you'll get like really practical skills, a whole keynote track, so a bunch of our speakers will jump in and lead a workshop, so that'll be a deeper dive with some of them.
We got a good leadership panel this year.
Great
a good
leadership
creative panel this year.
Yeah, a whole track of
Like
panels
Phil
actually.
Baudo
Yep.
coming down there.
Heck yeah.
He's the man right now in comms world, right?
Yeah.
And just I'll be talking about leading a room, just basically what I do at the conference. How do you do that at your church? Whether there's 10 people in there or 10,000, it doesn't change very much. And you know that, Brian. You've led a lot of different size rooms, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You got to engage.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So incredible main sessions. The most workshops you'll ever see at a conference.
So many.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So how do people register? And are we going to break some news here today?
We're going to break some news.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't know
we've-
this.
We've got a special code for anyone listening
What?
right now. What? You can get a little discounted rate. Yeah, so use the code PROBS25. You'll get a little bit of a
PROBS25.
discounted rate if you
Yeah.
register
All
with that
lowercase.
code. All lowercase, all caps.
Probs
It works either
25.
way.
Probs
Just don't mix and
25.
match.
There's a link in our bio for
And how
registering
much?
for
What are they
Experience
getting a discount?
Yeah, $30 off.
That's
30
awesome.
30
bucks off.
your registration. If you register this month, it'll be cheaper than next month.
Yeah.
And cheaper than the month after that.
Well,
So
and we're
hurry up,
bringing
get on it.
10 people.
Yep.
So that'd be $300 for us. That's a lot for a church budget. It's a
Have
lot,
you registered them
lot
yet?
for a church budget.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We've
but
got
we're
it.
on top of things.
I
But
was
there's
gonna hope you would be the first.
There's
to
a
use
lot
the
of people
Probs 25
listening
discount
who
code.
are just on the edge, and this
Yeah.
podcast is
Yeah.
helping them make a decision. And it's cool because none of the three of us are making a dollar off of more of you coming.
Yeah.
Right.
It means that
Well,
doesn't
we wanna
matter
see
to
It
more
us.
just means
impact,
something
yeah.
to all of us.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It just means that you're going to get your life changed in your team.
Totally.
What would you say to somebody, Ally, who's on the fence? Do I invest in this? Do I bring people? Should I go?
Man, you just got to do it, but especially this year specifically, it's our 15-year anniversary. So we're celebrating 15 years of the conference and all the stories and all the memories and all the fun moments that you see on social media, all the super deep moments. We're celebrating them this year, but as we celebrate them, we're looking forward to it being our best year yet. So you really don't want to miss, especially this year, as it kind of builds upon the last 15, launches for our next 15, hopefully.
Very
We're super
meaningful.
excited to see what God will do, but
Very meaningful.
you've got to be part of it.
So
yeah.
hit us with the dates.
September 2nd through 5th in Disney World, Florida.
Guys,
It's
It's the
best.
best.
it's at, and by the way, okay, so it's at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort, which is
Yep.
a really cool, like if you're a Disney person, there's enough Disney there to really do it for you.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not a Disney person, you're not
You have no
smacked
idea.
over
It's
the
the
head with
coolest
it.
resort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great resort.
just a beautiful resort.
And if you wanted to stay on the Disney property for this kind of a rate, you're going to be hard pressed to get there. So there are people who will kind of tag this up with a
couple extra vacation days. You can keep your EC rate.
You can keep your experience rate at the hotel.
That's right.
Which is awesome. Like if your spouse is not a music person or your kids or whatever, man, let them go play in the parks while you're at the
we get a lot of that.
And,
because Labor Day is a little busy at Disney, but it's not too bad. After the conference,
the weekend after,
relative to summer, it's a ghost town, and so you can get through the parks fast. And that's my advice. We let out Friday morning, you hit the park Friday afternoon, you hit Saturday, you hit Sunday, you fly home Monday. That's been what a lot of our friends have done.
Yeah.
And I want to say this. I had a pastor friend of mine who comes, I think every other year. He's trying to decide. And he said a line that I think the podcast listeners, this will help them, about Disney. He said, I feel kind of bad sometimes that it's at Disney. It was a reason he wasn't going to go. And again, back to a few minutes ago, that is just such a twisting, like part of the reason Al puts it at Disney is because he's like, it's a tired, often beat up, because of how music's viewed in church group. They need to have fun. I want it at Disney on purpose. And so just don't feel bad about, listen, another hotel's the same cost. Like why is it any different? And so you said, what should they do if they're on the fence? I think a lot of people are on the fence because they're nervous about their pastor or whatever saying it's at Disney. You just say, no, it's at a hotel at Disney.
Yeah.
It's a great place. And honestly, I need a break. I need a minute.
Yep. And I will say the first year I went, that's the exact position I was in. I really had to go to bat for getting the resources to go to a conference that was at Disney World. And I was like, guys, I'm beat up. I'm close to, I'm on the verge of burnout, and I would love to try this. And man, when I came back, I was fired up. God met me there in a really profound way. And it really kind of lit a fire in me that that ministry had kind of snuffed out, just the busyness of ministry. And so I would encourage you, come September 2nd through the 5th. Link in the bio for that. Use the discount code PROBS25. And you're going to save 30 bones on your registration, man.
That's a lot.
Just get after it. Get it done, man.
It's not only 30 bones, it's 30.
Right.
$30. And again, if you're bringing a team, that multiplies very quickly.
Yes, that's a huge savings. Like, you don't have to bring that many people. Basically, somebody's going to come for free.
And here's the thing. I've always thought this since day one. It's already so cheap for a 4-day conference. This is ridiculous. It
includes a lunch, too, right?
One
during
of the Disney lunches, which could probably cost almost as much as the conference.
Right. For sure.
And it has always been cheaper, than what you get. I've always thought this should be $500-$600 easy. Yeah. And that was 15 years ago when I started, before I was involved. I was like, this is way too cheap for all the people that are here. And so just a huge shout out to the team that pulls that off.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we would love to see you down there. Experience Conference 2025, Disney's Coronado Springs Resort, September 2nd through the 5th.
Yep.
Hit the link in our bio. Use the code PROBS25. It's going to save you $30 per person. That's a huge deal, man. And so we would absolutely love to see you at Experience.
Yeah, and come see the Probs recording with Brian.
Yeah, man, we'll have a little bit of fun.
Crew. Yeah. And my workshop will be pretty empty, so there will be space if you want to come see me. So, and Ally, you're doing one too.
I'm doing a workshop.
Yeah, you are.
What's your workshop?
We'll talk about social media, comms for your church.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Brian and I will tell you some stuff after the recording to help you out.
Okay, I'll take some notes. You can come help.
Oh no, she's a great resource.
She is.
That's the point.
Incredible.
Everything down there can help you. Just go with an open mind.
Yeah.
Don't go thinking you're better than everybody. Always learning, never the expert. It's one of our values here at the Bridge.
Yeah.
Always learning, never the expert.
Yeah.
If you keep that mentality, man, you'll do so well in so much of this.
Love it. Well, we're always grateful that you take some time to hang out with us for episodes of the podcast, and this has been a lot of fun having you guys on
so
here.
fun.
And we want you to remember what Brian mentioned at the beginning. Hit subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And do us that favor. Go to Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star rating with a nice review. Those are the ones that really help. Those are the ones in help spread the word And we want to get the word out about this. And Probs is kind of going into a new season, and we're pumped about what's to come. I'm so pumped for my friend Brian and what he's doing.
Yeah. And thanks, too, for following us on all the socials. We're at Worship Probs on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and YouTube. And then we're at Worship Leader Probs on TikTok. Join the Worship Probs community group on Facebook. And also look for us on X or Twitter, the old Twitter. We're Worship Leader Probs
Twitter
without the vowels. Or just look for hashtag Worship Leader Probs.
That's
hashtag.
right. That's right. We love engaging with you on all those accounts. And a huge shout out to our friends at Maven Media Productions. And Ally has been such a gift to Worship Probs, and that means to all of you, not just to me, because this podcast wouldn't be happening without her. And so if you're looking for somebody to help you, like I told you last week, maybe you're in ministry and your church needs help, or maybe you sell cupcakes and you need a website about selling cupcakes. You need a social media presence develops and some logos for helping to sell your cupcakes. MavenMediaProductions.com. There's a link in our bio for that. They're amazing people, and they'll crush it for you. Tell them we sent you.
No, it's like we said earlier, today, we have so many things asked of us that aren't in our lane of expertise and giftings, and yet so many in the church world just sit on that and suffer in a way. I don't have that website. I don't have that thing.
Yeah.
And so, like, don't just listen to these little taglines and go, yeah. No, like, do it. Why would you go another month struggling when a solution is presented?
Yeah.
That's just how I see life.
There you go.
Yeah, Maven Media Productions.com.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. And thanks to my friend Scott Hoke for our intro. Guys, we love you. Thanks so much for spending some time with us for episode 341. Until next time, deuces.
Fade to black, y'all.
Stay classy.